Hi, welcome back to Cooking Light Vegetarian. Here's another great side dish that's the perfect accompaniment to any meal, stewed sweet potatoes. We'll also make tasty sweet potato puffs, so let's get going. Here's what you need for stewed sweet potatoes. You need some brown sugar, you need sweet potatoes, which I've already cut up here for you. I'm going to use a stick of cinnamon as a garnish, and a little water, and a little bit of nutmeg. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is go over. I've just sprinkled, I promise you, a drop of oil in the pan. Maybe 6 drops. Teeny, teeny, doesn't amount to a thing, I promise you. So, I'm going to saute the sweet potatoes. Of course, I'm making a small amount. If you were doing it for yourself or your family, you would make a much larger amount. And I'm going to let that get nice and brown, okay? Let me take this off. And eventually, I will have something that is nice and soft. And let me show you what it looks like. It looks like that when it's nice and soft. And I'm going to go back and forth and I'm going to show you, but I don't want you to be bored watching the pan, okay? I want to show you what I can do when I have some stewed sweet potatoes, because I'm always thinking about what I can do with these ingredients. You know, I don't want just enough for stewed sweet potatoes. I want to do some other things with this, okay? So we can take stewed sweet potatoes, or we can take boiled sweet potatoes, and we mash them. And here's a great recipe to use for sweet potato puffs. Let me tell you what it has in it. It has sweet potatoes that's mashed, a grated onion, some oil, skim milk, 1 egg substitute, a little bit of flour, about 1/4 cup, and a pinch of nutmeg. So, I'm going to take all those ingredients. My potatoes look good, and I'm going to mix those in a bowl. Let me start off with my wet ingredients. Whenever I'm adding dry ingredients to a dish, I want to do the wet ingredients first and then the dry ingredients, because I mentioned this before, I don't know if you remember, then you won't get lumps as easily. Okay? Now I can start to add my dry ingredients. A little bit of onion. I'll save the onion for last. Anything bulky you want to put in last, like raisins or anything like that, anything in bulk. Okay? And then a sweet potato. So, got a great consistency here. This is a great dish. I think you're going to really, really like this. Now when it's the consistency, you know, you don't have to worry so much about how much in these recipes. When it's the consistency of, say, a real thick pancake batter, maybe you can either gather it in your hand, okay, or you can drop it by tablespoons and make little patties. I'm going to heat up my pan, put a little oil in the pan, and I'm going to make a tablespoon of oil, spread it around. You have to make sure you spread it around when you only use a small amount like that. All right? Now I can make little patties, or I can make little balls with this. If I did balls, I would put it in the oven. And I'm going to drop those by tablespoons. Let me see if I got a tablespoon. I've got a tablespoon right here. My pan is hot. I'm going to add that. I'm going to wait just a minute for my pan to get hot, and then drop that right in and let those get browned up. Drop them right in and let them get browned. Okay? And then pretty soon they'll brown on either side. And this is a luscious thing to serve as a side dish. I think 4 is enough. I hope you get the picture. Now I'm going to go over here and check on my stewed potatoes. Lift these up and see what's happening. Yep, they're browning nicely. See, you don't need a lot of oil or a lot of butter. Butter is an absolute no-no. Just a teeny amount of oil, and we accomplish that nice browning. Did you see that? So now I'm all ready to candy them, sort of. I'm going to make sweet potatoes. So I can add the rest of my ingredients, my cinnamon, my water, and I'm going to let that cook and cook and cook until it reduces down and I have this wonderful candied flavor to it. I'm going to use about, this recipe actually called for about 8 tablespoons, would you believe, of brown sugar? But we're going to cut down on the amount of brown sugar because we don't want all those calories. Just sprinkle that and let that reduce down. You can go in there and you can turn it over every once in a while. And I thought it would be fun to just let it cook with a little bit of a cinnamon stick in there. Doesn't that look good? And just kind of swirl it around in the pan. Okay? Let me put this over here on this heat. See if I can get a warmer heat. Sometimes it takes a while for the fire to kick in on electric. I hadn't given myself enough of a warning. But anyway, when the sweet potatoes are browned on either side, the puffs look like this. And they're really cute little puffs. You can use them as an accompaniment for a soup, or you can use them just as a little thing to have as an appetizer, you know, before a dinner party, or just a little snack. What I do with things like this is I put them in a baggie, put them in my freezer, and then I have a little nourishment when I feel like it. So 2 quick and easy things, both made with sweet potatoes and both fabulous and easy and loaded with beta-carotene. Do you remember what to look for? Orange is the key word. Anything with orange, squash, sweet potatoes, yams, carrots, all loaded with beta-carotene. So look for that. Now I want to show you one little thing that my friend Gunter Sager showed me. He's a chef with the Ritz-Carlton, and I took some cooking lessons with him. He said you can infuse oil by slowly letting some herbs cook in oil, and you can have a nice flavor. This dish is packed with vitamin A, which has been shown to reduce the risk of cancer. Well, I've had a great time cooking all these vegetarian dishes, like stuffed squash, bean and carrot soup, and stewed sweet potatoes. I hope you have, and I'll see you tomorrow.
This easy summer living tip is brought to you by Crisco. Cooks who know trust Crisco.